Introducing the DRF Cash Grab app, the super easy, free-to-play sports predictor game from a name you know and trust, the Daily Racing Form. Use your sports knowledge to predict the winners, and you could score thousands of dollars in cash prizes. Pro football, college football, pro basketball, college basketball, hockey, soccer, boxing, baseball, and more. Compete against others for a spot on the monthly leaderboard. Download the DRF Cash Grab app and play today.
Welcome into DRF Daily, DRF Sportsbooks betting live stream that's coming at you each and every day that we have football. But today we're coming at you on a Wednesday. We don't have football today, but we have a jam-packed Thanksgiving that we want to get ahead of. There's 3 games on the slate for tomorrow, featuring 2 heavy favorites, and then an interesting game between the Patriots and Vikings that will wrap up the night. But it's going to be a wild and wonderful weekend of sports. There's football on tomorrow. There's Black Friday soccer action in the World Cup as USA takes on England. We'll be breaking that down tomorrow on Thanksgiving. And then, of course, there's college basketball happening. All of these early season tournaments. The Maui Jim Invitational has the championship today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday, it's rivalry week. It's Ohio State, Michigan. It's all of these fantastic games. We'll be previewing rivalry week games on Friday. And like I said, we'll be previewing USA, England in the World Cup tomorrow. And today we're breaking down all 3 NFL games happening on Sunday. Before we jump into that, as a reminder, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are on social media, we're right there with you. Follow us at DRF Sportsbook for all of our exclusive betting angles, our exclusive data, trends, line movements, everything like that. And you can even get access to some amazing promotional offers and other social specific offers if you're in Iowa. DRF Sportsbooks, Iowa's only local sportsbook. So without further ado, let's break down these games. Game number 1 of Thanksgiving. The Bills take on the Lions. Lions and Cowboys are the 2 teams that we feature each and every Thanksgiving. The Lions are +10. Complete disrespect to the team that comes in winning their last 3. Complete disrespect to the team that is always playing on Thanksgiving. And folks, I don't know why this line is so high. I do know why this line is so high. It's Josh Allen. It's the Bills. They're coming off of an 8-point win against the Bengals. No, against the Browns. Mixed up my Ohio teams. The Lions, though, all of a sudden, like I said, have won 3 straight, both straight up and against the spread. And they just dominated the Giants for every single quarter on Sunday. And now they're coming into this one. But that didn't change Vegas's mind whatsoever. They saw that and they said the Lions are still the Lions. They're still double-digit home underdogs in this one. But I'll say this. The Bills come in a little limping when you're looking at it against the spread. They're 1-3 in their last 4 against the spread, and they're 2-2 this season against the spread when they're double-digit favorites. We'll see how that goes. I believe the Bills I think they've lost their last 2 against the spread. They won their first 2 against the spread when they were double-digit favorites. So I think the NFL's kind of catching up with them. Josh Allen's been a little bit erratic here and there. I still think he is the second best quarterback in the NFL behind Patrick Mahomes, don't get me wrong. And the Lions are going to have their hands absolutely full. The Lions probably won't slow them down on defense. The Lions are still one of the worst defenses in the entire National Football League. But I think their offense, which is getting healthy, Amon-Ra St. Brown's back, Jameson Williams back at practice. He's probably not going to go. But I mean, overall, this team is getting healthy at the right times. And they're kind of figuring out what their identity is. Jamal Williams has stepped in as the number 1 running back. DeAndre Swift, who's a little banged up but has been underperforming this season, has taken a little bit of a step back in his role. And so I think they figured out what that formula is on offense. And when Amon-Ra St. Brown is in, this offense looks completely different, and he is scheduled to go after being away from the team, banged up a little bit for a few weeks in the middle of the season. But now he's been back for a few weeks. He should be 100%, 110%, and he'll be hyped up to go. This isn't like any other Thursday game, right? Thursday games are typically terrible football games, but these are games that you grow up wanting to play in. Thanksgiving is a day you want to play, so you get ready for it. This is essentially the Lions Super Bowl. They haven't had good success on Thanksgiving as of late, but there's a lot of things that are in the Lions' favor. Since the start of last season, the Detroit Lions are 9-1 against the spread against defenses that allow 61% completion percentage or higher in the second half of the season. So Detroit, who can throw the football really, really well, 13th in pass DVOA. They're 10th overall in offensive DVOA. They know how to move the football. And when you give them the ability to move the football, they're going to make you pay for that. I think the Lions stack up really well against a Buffalo Bills defense that allows 5.5 yards per play, 6.3 yards per attempt. This is a Buffalo secondary that can get got. Trey White is still out. We're not sure when he's going to be back. But the Detroit Lions have the ability offensively to go blow for blow with the Buffalo Bills, which is why I don't think that the Bills can cover this 10-point spread. I think the Bills are the better team. The Bills are going to win this game, but the Bills are going to have to do a lot in order to slow down the Detroit Lions offense. And the Detroit Lions defense might be able to get a pick here or there. Josh Allen has thrown has the most turnovers in the NFL, I believe, when you factor in fumbles and interceptions. And this Detroit Lions defense is opportunistic. They've kind of figured out an identity as of late. They've just going to play man coverage, and if they get beat, they get beat. On third down, they're going to throw exotic blitzes at you and try and shake things up. Maybe they're able to do a little bit of something. I'm not fully sold on the Detroit Lions as a defense, but I think blow for blow, the Lions will be able to keep up with the Bills' offense, and maybe it's an 8-point, 9-point type of game. I just don't see the Buffalo Bills winning this game by 11 points or more. You see it here. Our power line likes the Bills, the Bills at -11. So essentially, value there on Buffalo. We're really no value, but it's essentially right on the money. Detroit only getting 42% of the public at +10. They opened at +9.5. That line's kind of hovered around +9, +9.5, jumped up to +10. Hammer it at double digits. I think this is where you get the most value because the Bills might be able to win this game by 10. But if you get it at +10 and they win by 10, of course, that's a push and you get your money back. And to me, I consider that a half of a win. But the public's not on the Lions. I don't know if the public fully understands that the Lions have kind of figured it out over these last 3 games. They beat the Green Bay Packers 15-9. They had an amazing comeback against the Bears. Maybe they figured out how to finally win these one-score games, right? Dan Campbell has the worst record in the NFL in one-score games. Chicago, that was Dan Campbell's first ever road win. And then last week, or I guess last Sunday, they beat the New York Giants 31-18 as 3-point dogs. They've won their last 3 games straight up and against the spread, all of which they were 4 or 3-point dogs. I think the Detroit Lions can cover this one with ease. Give me Detroit +10. Game number 2 of the Thanksgiving slate, Giants-Cowboys, another massive spread. The Cowboys are -9.5, and I think Vegas is buying into what happened last week. That's a game that I think we throw out. And even for the Giants, they lost 31-18. I don't think that's indicative of who these Giants are. And I don't think that massive win by the Cowboys is indicative of who the Cowboys are. I think we're buying way too much into both of those. I think these teams are relatively similar. They're both 7-3 this season. Granted, they do it vastly different ways. The Giants have just a 0.1 point differential. The Cowboys have a massive 8.4 point differential, and they've played essentially the same strength of schedule. The Giants 19.8, slightly tougher by 0.5 points. The Cowboys have a 19.3 strength of schedule. We figure that out by taking the power rating of all of our teams. So like the Bills are 30 in their power ratings. The Dallas Cowboys are, I believe, 29 or 30 in the power ratings. So you add up what their power rating overall is, divided out by the number of games. Higher the number, the more difficult their schedule is. If you want to check out all of the power ratings, we post them weekly on DRF Sportsbook Instagram. Just search up DRF Sportsbook and we're right there. But the Cowboys, the computer thinks this is more like Cowboys -18, and I just do not understand that. But when you look at it from, I guess, the computer point of view, the computer, our power rating system, StatFox, thinks the Cowboys are a bona fide Super Bowl contender. They have them right up there with the Buffalo Bills. Our computer also thinks Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL. And they don't think the Giants are even in the realm of being a true playoff contender. I know their record says they are, but the computer thinks they're a fraud. And that's why you see the power line there at -18, which is just an absurdly large spread in this game. This is a divisional game. They tend to play each other close. They're both, and I think this line from the computer of the power line and the line made by Vegas is just swayed based off of Sunday's results. Not extremely swayed, but I think you're getting a couple points that you might not have gotten otherwise. And honestly, maybe I'm looking at this with too much of a college football angle, But I think the Giants were overlooking the Lions. The Giants went into that one 7-2. You're seeing what the Cowboys are doing. You know you have the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And like I said, this isn't a normal Thursday game. This is essentially like a Super Bowl. Teams, players want to play on Thanksgiving. This is a big moment for both of them. So I wouldn't have been surprised if the Giants just completely overlooked the Detroit Lions and had their eyes set on this game. And with that in the theory, I don't see the Cowboys being able to cover a nearly double-digit spread. And also the way this line has moved, we've watched the Cowboys open at -8, and they've gone all the way up an entire point and a half to -9.5. 63% of the bets are on the Cowboys in this game. I'm all over the Giants at +9.5. And I'm even thinking I'm going to sit on my hands maybe a little bit, wait until we get a little bit closer to kickoff, check it in the morning, see where it goes. If this line moves up to -10 and 10, -10.5, and is a double-digit spread, hammer it, going 2 or 3 units on that one. I feel really confident that the Giants will be able to cover this one. The Giants have the formula to beat the Cowboys. We saw what the Green Bay Packers did. They did it with over 200 yards rushing. You pound the rock against the Cowboys. You make Micah Parsons think twice about if he's going to dive in, if he's going to stay out and cover the quarterback. And I mean, I think they have what it takes. And by they, I mean the New York Giants have what it takes to beat and to neutralize this Dallas defense. Dallas is 19th in the league in rush defense EPA. Giants are 11th in rush, ninth in rush EPA, and 11th in rush DVOA. Saquon Barkley's having a resurgence, and the way that they set up their passing attack is just an extension of the running game. And so I really think the Giants will be able to kind of pick apart and keep this one close. I don't think the Cowboys win this game, but I think the Giants can keep it close. I'm on the Giants +9.5, and I'm going to keep checking back on this line. It's shown that it's moving up. It started at -8. It's all the way up to -9.5. Sharps are on the Cowboys. The public's on the Cowboys. Not often you get those two aligned. And I think this line continues to move up. People are really high on the Cowboys after last week. There's going to be a lot of betting on this game from the public, so the public may even sway this line more than normal. And I think the Giants have what it takes to keep it close. The Giants have done this in all of their games this season. They know how to keep it close going into the fourth quarter, and they're going to make you sweat it out. And because of that, I don't see the Cowboys being able to win by 10, 11, 12, or more points. I think the Giants are able to keep it a game. And I think this is going to be a really good game. The Giants might have an opportunity to pull off the upset. I did a Madden sim yesterday. The Giants won. It's not outside the realm of possibility. They have what it takes. They stack up perfectly with the Dallas Cowboys. Saquon might have to have a fantastic season-high game, career-high game. But, I mean, the Cowboys' rush defense isn't the best in the league. It's in the bottom half, 19th in rush defense EPA, expected points added. Each time you rush the ball against this Dallas Cowboys team, they're 19th in stopping it. The Cowboys, extremely capable offense, a really good defense. Don't buy into last week, though. Maintain kind of that feeling. I'm on Giants +9.5. And last, but certainly not least, Game 3 of the Thanksgiving slate is the Patriots and Vikings. Kind of a snooze fest when I first looked at it. Patriots, Vikings, what good is this game? But I'm here to tell you, huge money to be made in this game, folks. Patriots are the dogs, +2.5. They're +120 on the money line. Hammer the Patriots money line, folks. Hammer, hammer, hammer. The Patriots are going into Minnesota and winning this game. And I know what I just said. Don't buy into last week and what happened with the Vikings. But I'm here to tell you, last week was the Vikings. The Vikings, I know it's been said the entire week. We've said going into last game. The Vikings have a negative point differential. The Vikings have a negative point differential. They are tops of the NFC North. They're one of the top teams in the NFC record-wise. They have a negative point differential. They get blown out when they lose. And this Patriots team is the best defense in the league, according to DVOA and EPA. EPA's expected points added. The Patriots each drive have a negative expected points added. This defense is elite. This defense doesn't get the respect it deserves. This defense is going to put Kirk Cousins in the meat grinder 2 or 3 or 4 times, and he is going to be seeing ghosts a la Sam Darnold. I'm all over the Patriots in this one. I think it might be a low-scoring game. The total set at 42.5. I think it's going to be hovering around there. I think it's going to be a great defensive game, but not a good offensive game. The only thing the Vikings really have going for them is Justin Jefferson. He might be able to tear up this Patriots secondary. I don't know. But overall, this Patriots defense can give Kirk Cousins looks that he hasn't seen in years. I'm all in on the Patriots. And then when you look at advanced statistics for the Vikings, they just leave you scratching your head. How in the world is this team have this record, right? There's absolutely no way to figure this out. They're not in the top half of the league in any advanced statistical offensive category. They're 15th in EPA per play on defense, but they are 8th against the run. So maybe you force Mac Jones to throw it a little bit more, or Bailey Zappi. I know it's Mac Jones now, but it's such an interesting QB controversy happening up in New England. But maybe you force Mac Jones to throw it. He makes a couple mistakes, but at the same time, I fully trust them to. I think the Patriots have what it takes to find the weaknesses in this Vikings defense and take advantage of it. There's nothing in this game that makes me have faith in the Vikings. They have the NFC North all but locked up. What, the Bears are going to catch them? The Lions? Maybe the Lions, honestly. The Lions, the Packers. No. The Vikings have the NFC North locked up. I do think, though, this is where the wheels fall off. I think the Vikings are an early out in the playoffs, and it starts now. I think they lose back-to-back games in a short week, and they hit this bye week. The Vikings have their hands full. They got a tough draw on this Thanksgiving game. A short week, Patriots vying for that wild card spot, and New England is 11-2 against the spread, coming off of a home game since the start of last season. Interesting, right? 11-2 against the spread. And I'm going Patriots straight up here, folks. Patriots money line plus 120 gives you so much value that I think it is completely worth betting on. The Vikings, like I said, offensively, they're inept. Defensively, they're average. Patriots, offensively, they're not good either, but defensively, they're elite. You saw what they did against, and I know it's Zach Wilson and the Jets, but you hold them to 102 total yards. I don't think Kirk Cousins is an elite level quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's an elite level. And it's prime time. We all know what happens with Kirk Cousins in prime time. That's all I'm going to say. Give me Patriots plus 120. So thank you so much for tuning in to DRF, Daily DRF Sportsbooks betting live stream, coming at you today, tomorrow, Friday. And we're breaking down some college football on Saturday. We'll break down some more NFL on Sunday. We have a loaded rest of the week for you guys. Tune in each and every day. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, we're live streaming it. And you can catch all of these clips on YouTube when they air, when they come out on YouTube later today. But if you're watching the live stream, I don't know why you will go back and watch the clips. Now, let's break down our best bets recap. Lions plus 10 against the Bills. I don't have faith in the Bills, who are 2-2 against the spread, to cover a double-digit spread again. This is their 5th time they've been a double-digit favorite this season. Public's all over Buffalo. I'm on the Lions. Cowboys are minus 9.5 against the Giants. Don't buy the Cowboys just yet. I think the Giants are at plus 9.5. Honestly, you can wait that out until 30 minutes before kick. I think that line will go up to plus 10, plus 10.5. It's been moving upwards since it dropped. Thanksgiving, we see a lot of casuals bet, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying is they might impact the line more than we're normally used to. So Giants at plus 9.5, I think, are a really good bet, and they have the formula for what it takes to beat the Cowboys. We saw what the Packers did. It's rushing the football. It's getting over 200 yards of rushing. And the Giants are one of the best rushing teams in the league. Saquon Barkley having a resurgence, and their passing game is a one-read extension RPO. Daniel Jones can tuck it and run. So I think it might give the Cowboys some difficulty. And Patriots a money line plus 120 against Vikings. We got to go an underdog to win outright on Thanksgiving. That's going to be an ugly game. So the only way that you can have any fun watching it is betting the underdog. I don't think we're going to see a lot of points in that primetime game, but I think New England's defense is legit. I think New England's defense is the best in the NFL, and they're going to put Kirk Cousins in the meat grinder. Give me Patriots money line plus 120. So thank you again for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow in the morning breaking down USA England World Cup that is airing on Black Friday. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and let's eat some turkey, let's eat some stuffing, and let's have ourselves a fantastic rest of the week. See ya.